Right now on the phone, we have Steve Ashbrook. Steve from the Madeira Fire Department. And Steve, what can you tell us?
In looking at the site, it looks like one of the issues that emergency responders always pay attention to is the vulnerability of structures under construction. And obviously this was one of those. And in those situations, failure can occur in a variety of different ways. You can have V-type collapses or tilts or a pancake-type collapse. And this looks kind of like a tilt or a V-type collapse.
And Steve, I want to be clear here. You were not at the scene or are not at the scene. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you're watching this along with us, and that's good because I don't know anything about construction. Clearly, you have been not only the Madeira Fire Chief, but Urban Search and Rescue as well, correct?
Right. That's the association that I have with this is through the Hamilton County Urban Search and Rescue Task Force, and Cincinnati is an active participant in that response organization.
I would imagine you have responded as a member of Urban Search and Rescue to many events like this, and as you described a V-type collapse, I mean, from a complete layperson, that's exactly what it looks like. What do you see typically when you get to sites like this? What are the kinds of injuries that you see?
Well, actually, fortunately, we don't go to a lot of these types of things, but tornadoes and earthquakes produce this type of collapse. But also, again, as I mentioned, buildings under construction can fail in this way. And there's kind of four major components to the emergency response to this, and that's first to respond with safety in mind for the responders to make sure that there isn't additional collapses and that they establish a safety zone, and I'm sure they did that. And then to engage in search for the workers that would have been on the site, and then once they're found, to extricate them, and then once they're extricated, to provide EMS for them. And it sounded from everything that we had heard listening to the breaking news is that Cincinnati Fire was engaged in all of those particular aspects to get the folks out of this site safely.
Yeah, they certainly got them out quickly. We got word very quickly that all were accounted for. Steve Ashbrook, thank you so much for kind of shedding some light on what we're looking at, because this is not something most of us have ever seen. Thanks again for joining us.